Hey viewers, time for another weapon mod, and this time it may be the greatest one I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. It's Alex's Copperhead Assault Platform by ALEXPOW, or POW. It adds a fully modular M4 platform into Fallout 4, and you might say, so what, we've had plenty of those before. We've had great mods like Deadpool's Service Rifle and SREP, but this one truly surpasses them all. It manages to maintain exceptionally high quality despite having insane customization potential. It's also kind of almost lore-friendly, and it takes advantage of the latest scripting frameworks to add seamless selective fire and under-barrel attachment support, something only possible within the past few months. Mod switch framework is a soft requirement, and I would highly recommend using it, as otherwise you won't be able to switch to an under-barrel launcher without visiting a workbench. You also won't be able to switch between full, semi-auto, and burst fire modes when they're available. Copperhead M4 rifles, and I think that's what they're called, the mod has its own idiosyncratic naming scheme for instance naming rules, there's a diagram and everything, are injected into leveled lists, but since this is intended to be a late-game weapon, you won't find them often. Raiders can carry crappy variants of the gun starting at level 1, but you won't see gunners or vendors with them until at least level 30 or so. The weapon has mod coals, so you'll find random variants with attachments out in the world, and there's different mod coals for different factions, so raiders usually have awful, rusty parts, while gunners will have better condition ones. There's also two melee weapons, the Lancehead Bayonet Knife, which starts showing up at level 18, and the more damaging but slower 100 Pacer Knife, which you'll see from level 28. You can find them on gunners and vendors. Both bayonet knives have only 3 blade attachments, use vanilla animations, and are about as good as the vanilla combat knife and Chinese officer sword, so not much to say about them, they're just an appetizer for the main course. More importantly, there are an unbelievable 10 unique variants of the Copperhead rifle, and I am grateful I have Fallout 4 edits, so it only took me 5 hours to find them all. One called Eddie's Vengeance can be found inside the armory cage at the BADTFL regional office. I don't know why it's called Eddie's Vengeance, maybe Eddie Winter owned it? I don't know. Another unique, The Wall, is inside the Diamond City security office and can be easily stolen. It's named after the wall protecting Diamond City and appropriately does extra damage to super mutants. The Little Friend 7.62 can be stolen from a display case on the floor above the spiral staircase in Good Neighbor's old state house. There's a Kingpin suit with black gloves right next to it. It bears a passing resemblance to Al Pacino's M16 he used in Scarface, so it aptly does more damage the more withdrawal effects you have. Heat Seeker is in the pump house south of Hub City Auto Records, right behind the puzzle door next to where the gainer is. It comes with an incendiary effect and an underbarrel flamethrower. One little thing I noticed in this room is, regardless of caliber, Copperhead rifles don't ignite the iridescent flammable liquid spilled around the Commonwealth, unless you use the flamethrower attachment. This is something I usually forget to check, and it's not a big deal, but ballistic weapons should set these spills on fire. Tangent over. Back to the uniques. Inside the Bridgeway Trust Bank, there's Amcar and a Heister suit. Both are references to the Payday games, so the Amcar does more damage the more caps you have. Inside Installation K21B, tucked over here in a corner, is HECU, a rifle that always fires 9mm no matter what magazine attachments it has. It's a reference to Half-Life's HD Model Pack SMG, I think. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this mod requires munitions and there's no patch around it, but most people are using munitions already nowadays, so I don't think it's a big issue. But if it's a deal breaker for you, keep that in mind. The Constrictor can be found inside the church beside the diner at Quincy Ruins. Its legendary effect is having infinite ammo, which I imagine is a reference to the fact you don't have to reload in Doom. The Desert Fox can be found southwest of Sunshine Tidings Co-op on a desk placed outside in the open by a cliffside. It has a nearly instant draw and holster speed, always skipping the animation where you unnecessarily pull the charging handle back before you can fire. Second to last, there is the Contractor 308, which is in the hidden section above Diamond City that I didn't even know about until right now. There's also this black Contractor suit. Without using TCL, you can only reach this stuff using a power armor jetpack, and the area is so ugly and has so much misaligned geometry and culling weirdness you might think the mod broke some precombines here. But no, I checked and the vanilla game is equally fucked, so blame Bethesda, not this wonderful mod. Finally, there's an expert-locked safe house which you can find east of Recon Bunker Theta at the very end of this stream on the northern edge of the map. The bunker is locked with an expert lock, and the cage inside needs a key which you can find inside a hollowed-out rock right next to the bunker that I definitely didn't spend 48 minutes looking for. Behind the cage, there's the last unique, Dies Array, I don't know. It does more damage to ghouls, and that's all the uniques. Now, in general, as far as looks are concerned, I'm quite impressed, especially considering the sheer number of attachments that had to be modeled and textured here. There are some oddities. The service rifle barrel is weirdly thick and flat, unlike in Deadpool's rendition or the actual rifle in New Vegas, but generally the quality is quite high. Animations are astounding, definitely on par with Deadpool's rifle, and there's a lot more of them because most magazine attachments have their own animations, both in first and third person. The progressive sprint animation looks particularly amazing. There is the bashing problem where the kill move animation gets cut off immediately, yet your target plays along and dies anyways, but a lot of mods have that, not a huge deal. In Power Armor, I can't hear any double footsteps bug, and there's custom third-person animations, but only one set that every magazine shares, which is understandable because who would want to redo every animation and do twice as much work for Power Armor that most people don't even use? Unfortunately, underbarrel animations are broken in Power Armor. You don't aim or reload the launcher properly anymore. That might be an MSF problem, I don't know. Regardless, launchers are still fully functional, it's only a visual issue. As for attachments, the number of them is stupendous. I don't think I've ever seen more on a weapon. My count might be inaccurate here because of the incredible number and my stupidity, but from what I saw, there are 8 paint jobs, an insane 68 decals, and you can even make your own custom decal using paint.net or GIMP or Photoshop, anything that can load DDS files. There's 23 different barrels, 21 iron sights and scope choices to make, 9 muzzle devices, 9 underbarrel attachments including a flamethrower and grenade launcher, 7 add-ons like a recoil pad and playing cards on your stock, 14 stocks, 13 components that are the main determinant of the weapon's stats, 9 different laser colors, 9 furniture types for your barrel and stock, 32 types of magazines, and a lot of them have their own reload animations like I already said, 10 side rail gadgets if you have a compatible barrel, there's rail covers for some barrels, and those same 2 bayonets that act as standalone melee weapons. Balancing is great. These are uncommon late-game weapons which are supposed to be better than competing vanilla options, and despite that, they don't deal obscene amounts of damage. Interestingly, they still follow the vanilla convention of automatic fire nearly halving your damage, which is easily observed by switching from semi to full auto on the fly. So, conclusion time. This mod's fucking awesome. Definitely give it a shot. That's all I gotta say. Goodbye.